The February jobs report is out, and economists say it's solid. Employers added 151,000 jobs in the month of February, but the unemployment rate also ticked up just a little bit. Now, this is really the first full accounting of how the jobs market is reacting to the initial stages of President Trump's second term. And before I tell you what's really going on with this report, which you absolutely need to understand, I want to say something to you. Yes, you. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is the government agency that puts this report together every single month, is the exact same organization that collected this very same jobs data during the Biden administration. This organization has collected that data the exact same way for decades. Those are the facts. But there has been a lot of talk in my comment section over the last few years saying these numbers were fake and this organization was just lying on behalf of President Biden to make him look good. I told you then, and I'm going to tell you now, the numbers are the numbers, just like the facts are the facts. You cannot like the numbers when you think they're good for you and then say they're fake when you think they're bad for you. It's giving hypocrisy, it's giving double standard, it's giving cognitive dissonance. Look, it's okay to have good or bad feelings about these things. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, and that's not what I'm talking about here. What you're not entitled to is claiming something is fake just because you don't like it. If you find yourself doing that, I did an entire TED Talk that you should absolutely watch. It'll help you correct that behavior. Okay, now that we're done with those basics, let's talk about today's report and what it actually means. So this report marks the 50th straight month of jobs growth in this country. Employers have been adding jobs to the economy since January of 2021. That is really solid. The report also found that average wages in February were up 4% from a year ago. Wage gains have been outpacing inflation for nearly 2 years, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. In February of 2025, the job sector that saw the biggest gains was healthcare, which added 52,000 jobs, followed by financial services, which added 21,000 jobs, and transportation and warehousing, which added 18,000 jobs. But we also, as I said, saw the unemployment rate tick up. Unemployment in January was at 4%, but in February, it went up just a little bit to 4.1%. Now, a word of caution about this number. Yes, this report is from February, but because of the Bureau of Labor Statistics data collection method, which, as I just said, has been the same for decades, this report does not fully capture all the layoffs that happened in February from both the private sector or in the government sector. That means this report does not fully capture all the DOGE government staffing cuts we saw in February. We will probably get a better accounting of what happened in February and in March in the April jobs report. So even without a full accounting of those DOGE cuts, this BLS report found 10,000 government jobs were lost in the month of February. We know the Trump administration is on a mission to shrink the federal government workforce, so you should expect that number to spike up in the next few reports. And in the private sector, the report found 15,000 jobs were lost in the food and beverage industry and 16,000 jobs were lost in leisure and hospitality. There was one other number that was mentioned in this report that I'm going to keep my eye on, and you probably should too. It is the number of people working part-time for economic reasons. That number in the month of February increased by 460,000. That means nearly 5 million Americans in February were working a part-time job because their hours had been reduced or because they were unable to find full-time jobs. That is the highest level we've seen since the pandemic. So if you want to read this report for yourself or if you want to watch that TED Talk, I will email both things out to you tonight in my Facts HQ newsletter, which I highly encourage you to sign up for. It is an excellent resource.